Okay, so I think I'm live, right? I want someone to just confirm me quickly, okay? Someone just please confirm me like quickly as ASAP. ASAP. Okay.
पहली मैच खेले
Okay. I'm properly audible. Okay. Okay. So that's it. Yeah. I'm properly audible. Okay. Let's start. Let's start. Okay. So should we wait till other people join or should we start away directly? I'll just do one thing. I'll just put it on Discord and then start with the video. Okay. Because I get it like if you are watching it pre-recorded, so a lot of time. So I'll just use the timestamp. Don't need to wait. Okay. Let's skip the intro part. Well, okay. So I put it up on Discord and let's start with the video. Okay. So the first problem: new wall, new me, new arrow. It's a new wall. It's a new me. And I'm feeling good. Natsume Akito has just woken up in a new wall, immediately received his first quest. The system provided him with an array A of n zeros, an integer k, and an integer p. Okay, what he has to do in an operation, Akito chooses two integers I and x such that he can choose any integer from 1 to n and x, that is minus p to p, and perform the assignment ai is equal to x. Okay, Akito is still not fully accustomed to controlling his new body, so help him like not necessary information. Okay, sum of all elements. So we have to make the sum of all element as equal to k. Okay. So let's understand what all we have. We have the value n, k, and x, right? Mm, n, k, okay, n, k, and p. I think it's not getting synced. There's some syncing issues. Let me reload Xcalet draw. Leave page. Because I don't know from which end it is lagging. From my this piece. Okay, okay, okay. NKP. Okay. So we have got three variables n, k, and p, which means that n is basically nothing but, like, if you go over here, it is the number of elements in the array. Okay, k is basically nothing but the sum of all the elements that we have to achieve, and p is the assignment. Okay, so initially we are having, just consider it like this. Okay, initially we have to consider that we are having the elements in such a way that, why is there so much of lagging? Okay, so initially we are having a few number of zeros. Okay, how many numbers of zeros will be there? There will be n number of zeros. Okay, now since that we have got the n number of zeros, what we have to do is we can assign any specific element any value that we feel like. So let's say if we want to assign a specific value to the first zero over here. Okay, so what we can do is we can assign a value from minus p till p. Okay, there's a little bit of lag. If I see that it persists for a long time, what I'll do is I'll just directly do it over here only. Okay, so this has to be the value. So what is our main aim? So initially we know that the sum is basically nothing but 0, right? Now since the sum is 0, so first of all what we can do is, if the target sum, what is the targeted sum? It is k, right? I think there is a lot of issues. Well, what I'll do is, I think, since the issue is from the other device's end, so I'll continue doing it from my device only. Okay. Now see, since sum is equal to 0 and we have to make the this as k. Okay. Now since we have to make it as k, so what we can do is, so let's say the k is, there are two possibilities. Okay. One possibility is that k is negative. Okay. Other possibility is k is positive. Okay, so k is, if k is negative, we know that the sum we have to decrease. Okay, decrease, otherwise the sum, otherwise what we have to do is we have to increase the sum. Okay, increase, right? Now since it is all about decreasing and increasing, so one thing that we can directly say is that if we are having the freedom of using minus p till p, so it is the best approach that if you're decreasing it, decrease it as much as possible. And if you're increasing it, increase it as much as possible, because it is given in the question that we have to find the minimum number of operations that is required. And if it is impossible, then tell him that it is not possible. Sorry, we can't do it. So since we have to take the minimum number of operations required, so we have to decrease it. If we have to decrease it the maximum. So decrease it by p. And if you have to increase it, so increase it by maximum, increase it by p. Okay. Now, if at any position you feel that we have already attained that specific element, okay, and we are decreasing it more, so at that point we can stop. Okay, simple. So what do I mean by that? Let's say I'm having a sum. Okay, I'm having a value of k. Now I want to draw this value of sum as near as possible to k. Okay, so in that case, if I have to decrease it by p, I can decrease it by p. If I increase it by p, I have to increase it by p. Now the very moment I find that after decreasing it by p, now I have to again increase it. That is, I have exceeded the thing. So what do I mean by that? Let's say sum is basically 5 and k is basically 2, and I have the value of p as 1. Okay, or rather value of p as 2. So obviously it means that I have to subtract 2. So this becomes 4. Sorry, this becomes 3, right? This becomes 3. Now this 3, again we have to decrease it. So if we decrease it by 2, now it becomes 1. So the moment it becomes 1, we are sure that we don't have to decrease it also, because the moment it becomes 1, it is that we have attained it. Okay, instead of decreasing by 2, we can decrease it by 1, so that 3 becomes 2. Okay, so how many operations did we do? We did 2 operations. Okay, so we can find it like this. So specific, there are, like, I won't tell you that what is the specific approach you should have for this problem. So initially, if you're just beginning with this type of problem, I'll show you one approach that I have done. Okay, but this is not the most optimized approach. I have done that because, like, yeah, I can do that. That is, I'm going to iterate through all the elements. I mean, yeah, since all of them are 0. So if I find that sum is equal to k, then I can break it up. And if sum is greater than k, so what I'll do is I have to subtract p from the sum. Otherwise, I have to add p to the sum. Okay. And remember one thing, since I just mentioned that it may become way lesser than, after subtracting, it may become way lesser than k. So we have to take k in that case, okay? So that's the reason I am having this maximum thing and this minimum thing, an answer plus plus, okay? So what is the value that I will get for this? It is basically nothing but like, and in worst case scenario, I will be having big O n, okay? The answer is correct, okay? So in the worst case scenario, I will be having big O n. But what if I told you, obviously, like I think many of you have done it like this. What if I told you I can do it in big O 1 also? Okay, big O 1 solution is also available. Now, how to do that big O 1 solution? I'll quickly tell you. Okay, it's like, since you know that the difference, it was all about the difference. Okay, so what we can do is we can have the difference. Okay, sum minus k. Okay, I'll just make it commented out. So this sum minus k by p. Okay, so if you go for this value, then also this is a perfect thing. Okay, so I'll just do one thing. I'll just comment it out and show you that how it satisfies. So see, if it is greater than n, that means that I can, like, I will be needing more than n numbers, right? So I can't do that. I can't do that. Okay. Otherwise, we can directly say that this is going to be this value. Okay. I think this should work though. Like if it doesn't work, like you can get the gist out of it. Okay. I'm dropping a lot of frames. I don't know why. I mean, not the frames. The frames are not dropping. The FPS is dropping sometimes. I don't know why. I think this is because like my CPU is getting overheated. I'm using too many things. Okay, it shows failed. Okay, like obviously you can get it out. Okay, I know that it is showing failed, but I think the logic is clear for you. Okay, the bigger one is it's okay. Bigger N is also works. Okay, I don't know how many people are watching it because I have got no idea. Okay, it was 4, then 2, then 0. Okay, it has come down to 0. Is it because I'm lagging a lot? Is it because I'm lagging a lot? But now I think it's okay, right? Okay, so I think it's okay. Yeah. Okay. Okay, let's move on to the next problem. Okay. Having been a treasurer in the past, I helped goblins deceive. Okay. After completing the first quest, Akito is left the starting cave. After a while, he stumbled upon a goblin village. Since Akito had nowhere to live, hi, had nowhere to live, he wanted to find out the price of housing. Okay. It is well known that goblins write numbers as a string. How many questions did you do, Aditya, by the way? It is well known that goblins write numbers as a string. Okay. So what he has to do is, I'll tell you. I'll directly go over here. The string consists of this dash and underscore. Okay. Dash and underscore. A string, it one, only one. Okay. Well, then I think you're at the right point of the video because I'm like explaining the second question. Okay. B. So it states that the string consists of nothing other than, I don't know why it is. Yeah, I think it is a little bit of, okay. Now it is okay. So see, I tried n cubed and combinatorial approach, both failed. You won't need that. So basically what we have is like we know that the everything is either dash or underscore. Okay. And it is given that we have to maximize the number of subsequences, which is this. Okay. We have to maximize the number of that. And what we can do is we can rearrange the elements over here. Okay. You can rearrange the elements over here so that the number of subsequence of this specific thing is maximized. Microsoft Whiteboard for draw or write anything. This is much easier than this. Yeah, like, but you know what? Like, I'll tell you what. I have another device, okay, which uh, which is a touchscreen device, and it is easier for me to write stuff. I don't know about Microsoft Whiteboard though for now, but the thing is that Microsoft Whiteboard, I think as much as I know, like you have to log in from the same device only, right? I mean, same mail ID only, right? So that I can't do because that device is not mine. This device is mine, so I have to use a very open source thing. So that is Excalibur. Okay. Okay. So basically, you have to maximize the number of this thing. Okay. Now, since you have to maximize the number of this thing, what you can do is, let's say Lucas theorem again in contest thanks to Lead Code Weekly. Lucas theorem? Eh? There was a Lucas theorem. NCR, NCR, NCR. F. Okay, 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 okay. F was Lucas theorem. Well, I don't know about this. I don't know about this. I haven't solved F properly. I was just going through it. I came up with an approach, but it was giving me a wrong answer because obviously there was an overflow. Okay. Sorry. Yeah. B. So basically, I have to find this, which means that there are some dashes, some underscores, and then again some dashes. Okay. Now, since we have to maximize the number of subsequents having it, what we can do is this dashes we can divide equally into two parts. Okay, I can tell you why this is the best approach. Okay, this is the best approach because like if you want a subsequence which is of length 3, okay, where this is fixed. So let's say if I'm fixing the middle element, okay, this is a subsequence. If I'm fixing this element, okay, what I can do is from apart from here is like I have to find out how many this elements are there and how many this elements are here. Okay, this and this, right? Since I am fixing the middle element. So that is the best approach because if you are going to fix the last element and find out how many this and this elements are there, so you have to maintain a pattern that how many this elements are there which comes before this, right? So that becomes more complex. So the best approach is fix the middle element, find how many towards the left and find how many towards right. Now if you want to maximize the number of left into number of right, because that is the formula, right? That is the formula for the permutation combination. So what we have to do is, since you know that if we want to maximize x into n minus x, okay, do you know what should be the value of x? The value of x should be n by 2, right? This you can do by differentiation, okay? It is proven because x into n minus x is nx minus x squared. If you differentiate it, it becomes n minus 2x, right? And now you know that after differentiating it, so f dash x is equal to 0. That is how we find the maxima. So if this is 0, so x is equal to nothing but n by 2. Okay, clear? So we have to divide it into two parts. So what we can do is all the dashes, let's say there are x number of dashes, okay? There are x number of dashes. So we can divide it into two parts. So one part will be x by 2 and the other part will be x by 2 plus x mod 2. Okay. This mod 2 is basically because like if x is a odd number, so I'll get one extra x, right? And in the between what we can have the underscore, okay? Underscore is basically the number of y. So that once we get this, where dash is the x, underscore is y, then we can just simply multiply all of these terms, okay? x by 2 into y into x by 2 plus x mod 2. Okay. If you can't see it over here, I think you can make it out what I have written. Okay. Now I think you can see also. So is it clear? Like, do you get it? Like, why did I do that? Any doubt? And anyways, people new to this channel, you guys can subscribe my channel. Okay, you guys can subscribe my channel because like yeah, I need subscribers. No, one more thing that if you don't subscribe, you won't be able to live chat. Okay, I have already mentioned that this is a subscriber only live chat. Okay, so yeah, that's it. So any doubt till now? Uh, any doubt till now? Let me just walk on through the code till you guys have any doubt. Specifically Aditya, because I think you haven't. Bro. Like yeah, if you want, you can skip the video. You can come later. Also, it's okay. But I have to explain all the questions. Okay. So basically, what I'm doing is I'm checking the number of dashes. I'm making it a plus plus. If it is underscore, I'm making it b plus plus. Then b into a by 2 into a by 2 into this. Let's go to C. Okay. Let's go to C. Creating keys for store or ages has become my main skill. Okay. This is basically a OR based question. So yeah. What does this question tell us? You're given, what are you given by the way? You're given n and x. Okay. What is n and x? I'll tell you. Don't need to worry. Okay. See, what was I doing by the way? Yeah, n and x. I was going through something else. I forgot. See, what you are given is basically nothing but n and x. What you have to do is you have to make an array of size n. Okay, an array of size n such that the OR of all the elements is x. Okay, the OR of all the elements is x. And what is like you can have a various arrays where the OR of all the elements is x, but there is also a trick over here, that is it is given that you have to maximize the max. What is the max? Max is the minimum negative number that is not appearing in the array. Let's say if I'm having an array like 0 1 2 3, the max of this is nothing but 4 because that is a minimum non-negative number that is not occurring. If it was 1 2 3, then the max will be 0 because 0 is the minimum number. If it was 0 1 3, then 2 is the max. Okay, so that's it. So we have to maximize the max also, and we have to make the OR of all the elements as x. Clear? What is the approach? Since you know that all the n elements, if I make all the elements x, so the OR of all the elements is x. Okay, because x or x is x. So what I can do is I can make all the elements x. Okay, clear? Well and good enough. And then what I have to do is I have to check if 0 or x is equal to x or not. Okay, if 0 or x is x, which means that if I make this as 0, then also the OR of the whole array is not getting disturbed because I know that the suffix OR is already x, right? So that won't be a matter of issue for me. Okay, clear? Done. Then for this, what I'm going to check if 1 or x is x or not. Okay, if it is equal, then make it 1. If it is not, let it be x. Okay, so doing this we check for 2, for this we check for 3, and we go on doing it. Okay, so is it clear like why we are doing this? Guys, be a little bit responsive. Okay, because it's good if you're responsive. right? Okay, it is clear. Okay. Now, since we have got this thing, so you may say that once we are done with all the operations, we can directly say that this is the answer. I am done with it, right? But you're wrong again. Okay. Why is it so? Because let's say if you're having just one element, that is x, right? And you know that 0 or x is equal to x. So what you're doing is you're checking for 0 or x, and it is becoming x. So you can make this as 0, right? But if there is only one element and it is 0, so obviously the OR of all the elements is not x, right? So once you are done with that, what you can do is you can again have a recheck. Okay, you have to recheck whether the XOR of all the elements is equal to x or not. Okay, if it is x, well and good, we know what to do. Okay, but if it is not x, what we can do is the maximum element that we are having in the array, we can replace it with x. Okay, let's say this is the maximum element, right? Because we were having the array in a sorted manner. So the maximum element that we have, replace it with x. Now you know that since all the elements, if you OR it with x, it becomes x. So which means that x or this is x, then x or this is x, right? Then now what is the OR? It is x. Now x or this is x. Okay. So all of it becomes x. Clear? Well, that is it. Nothing else. Okay. If you want me to explain, like I will go through to walk you through the code. What I'm doing is, yeah, one more thing, like if you're finding some number which is exceeding x, and so you won't be needing that. Okay, so you can directly break out from that. Okay, if the I this is basically the condition for break. Okay, if I is less than equal to x and x or I is equal to x, then only I'm going to make AR of I as I. Okay, otherwise AR of I is x. Okay, this is x. And then what we are going to do is we are going to find out the OR of all the elements in the array. Okay, and if OR is not equal to x, so we have to make the last element x, otherwise just print as it is. Okay, is this clear? Please would you kindly explain it again in some easier way? Priya, how like okay, like from where did you didn't understand? Can you explain? From which part? I think I'm lagging now. I think I'm lagging now. A lot. Okay. Okay, I'll just go through it again. Okay. See, since we have to make all the elements XOR as X, so what we are going to do basically is we are going to take all the elements at X. I was almost kind of there. Okay. So basically we are going to take all the elements as x, because you know that if all the elements are x, so what we can do is directly say that the XOR of all the elements, that is x or x or x x or x or x or x or is equal to x, right? Clear? Well and good. But since we have to maximize the max, so that is the part that we have to concentrate on. So first of all, what we have to do is we have to try inserting a zero inside of it. Okay, because you know that if you're going to maximize the max, so first of all you have to check, like we have to insert the 0 so that the max is not 0, the max becomes 1 now. Okay, like I think it would better like if you focus over here. Don't think I look shit. Okay, I look shit. Okay, so it's like can you please write on for more understanding? Okay, I can write on. Yeah, I can do that. It's okay. So basically it's like, so you just uh, insert that 0. Okay, and check if you can insert that 0 or not. Then you go to 1. Okay, you understand it. Okay, so for path, I will just write on it quickly. I'll just take a very small number, okay? Path, are you okay with 777? Okay, let's take 7 7. Okay, 7 7. Okay, well, let's go to D, bro. Yeah, we'll go to D. It's okay. Like everyone needs to understand, right? So you know what is the binary of 7 7? I mean 7. The binary of 7 is nothing but 1 1 1. Or is there another one? I don't remember. It is 3 and that is 4. Yeah, 1 1 1, right? Okay. So if you go on checking for 0, so what is this? It is 1 1 1 only. Okay. By plus I mean or. Okay. Or. CodeChef or Codeforce, what would be better platform to start? To start, bro. Done. I have understood. Okay. 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 So yeah, that's it. So just because I have started with it, okay. So if you are making it or, so this becomes 1 1 1. Sorry, 1 1 1. Now, no matter whatever number you take over here, from you can take 1, you can take 2. It the or becomes 1 1 1 only. Okay, till 7. So that's it. Okay, so Supernova, I think a better platform will be like if you are starting with CP, go with CodeChef, and if you feel that I am at an intermediate level, came now, just write on your code, bro. I think you just do one thing, like after I'm done with the video, just go through it. Okay, I will go to D. Okay, because I think I have like explained it just before this. Okay, sorry, Mohit, by the way. So yeah, you can if you're a beginner, you can start with CodeChef, and if you think that you are at an intermediate level, so what you can do is you can go for Codeforces. Okay, as simple as that. Okay, so let's move on to D. Okay, for wizards, the exam is easy, but I couldn't handle it. That is what I tell to Codeforces on every contest. Okay, Akito got tired of being a simple locksmith at a bank, so he decided to enroll in a. Don't need to go through it. Okay, what he basically tells us is we have to minimize the number of inversions. I don't know why they don't mm, like make the most important things in bold. Okay, minimize the number of inversions. Our main goal. Okay, by doing one spell exactly once, so we can have one operation exactly once. What is that operation? Choose two numbers L and R. Okay, that is the left and the right, and perform a cyclic shift of subarray from L to R, one position to the left. What does he mean by that? You're having an array with, let's say, a number of inversions. What is an inversion? An inversion is basically if I is lesser than j, but ARR of I is greater than ARR of j. Okay, means the greater number occurs before the smaller number. Okay, that is an inversion. Inversion occurs in pairs. Okay, I hope this is clear. Okay, so now since we know about that, what we have to do, right? Oh, sorry. So what we have to do is basically we have to like perform a circular shift. What do I mean by circular shift? I will also tell you. Okay, so let's say if I'm having D can be solved using big O n squared. Yeah, you can solve D using, yeah, you have to solve D using big O n squared. Sorry, I just forgot like I was explaining. Okay, yeah, you can you have to, rather, like I don't know whether you have to or not, but I think you can solve it in maximum, like a minimum big O n log n. Okay, I will explain the big O n squared as well as the big O n log n. Okay, approach. I will explain both of them. Clear? But big O n squared is a good solution. Big O n log n is a better solution, best solution rather. Okay, so basically you're having specific elements. Let's say this, there is a block, this is an element, okay, and you are applying the circular shift on this. Okay, what does it mean? This means that, let's say this is green and the first element is red. Okay, so what we are going to basically do is this blue part, okay, this blue part, there is a circular shift. That means this becomes green, okay, and this becomes red. Okay, so basically you take out this element. Okay, uh, what color can I use next? Okay, you basically take out this element and put it at the back of this, and you shift it out. Let's say if it is A, B, C, D, E, so what you do is you take out this A and put it at the end. Okay, so now it becomes B, C, D, E, A. Okay, so what you have to do is you have to minimize the number of inversions. Now, what is a approach to find how can you minimize the number of inversions? So what you can do is you can have, since you are going to use the big O n squared approach, okay, so since you're having the big O n squared approach, oh no, I think there is no big O n log n approach. Okay, there is only one big O n squared approach. Yeah. Since you're having the big O n squared approach, so for one n you can have the value of L, and for one n you can have the value of R, right? L and R, right? And you have to find out, like, if I am putting this element at L, taking it out and putting it after R, how many inversions I am removing. Okay, that is the main thing. Why do I say removing? Because again, understand this thing. Okay, you're having an array. Don't think it about circular shift. Okay, think it in such a manner that there is this element. Okay, you're going to take out this element and put it somewhere over here. Okay, somewhere over here. Now, how many inversions are this going to, like, impact on? Obviously, the elements before it, these two elements were before it, and now also these two elements are before it. Okay, clear? So these two elements are not affected at all. So the elements that are not affected, I'll just mark it in, uh, let's say, or blue. Okay, so they are going to be not affected. Again, these two elements. Okay, I got a backend issue. Okay, so again, these two elements, they were also previously after this, right? Now also they are after this. So these two are also not going to be getting affected. So what is going to be affected? The elements that are after the red. Okay, the elements that are from L plus 1 till R. Okay, so for L plus 1 till R, you have to find out how many elements were there which were lesser than the red one, and how many elements were there which were greater than that. So if the number of elements that were lesser than that, okay, so what does it mean? That it is going to remove those inversions. Okay, the elements which were lesser than, it is going to remove that inversion, because it is going to be placed now at the back of it, after it. It was initially before it, now it is after it. But the elements which were originally not inverted, let's say, like, there was an element over here. Okay, there was an element over here which was not inverted. What do I mean by that? That this element was greater than the red element. Now this element will be lesser, I mean greater than the red element, but it will be before that, right? Previously it was after that. So this is going to maximize the inversion, not minimize it. Okay, so what you have to basically do is you have to find out how many elements is going to maximize, like, make it more, increase the number of inversion, and how many elements is going to decrease the number of inversion. And you can get the average of it. I mean, not the average, basically you can get the sum of it, and then if you find that, yeah, this is a good deal, we can do it, so you make it. Did you get it? Did you guys get it? What I mean, like, I'm trying to convey to you guys? and ignore the fact that I'm having a kind of lower FPS, okay, and I also dropped a few frames. Encoding overload. Okay. There was some encoding overload. The encoding is because like I'm like, since I am recording at a very high speed, I mean very high quality, but I can't do that also. That's it. So yeah, is it clear, guys? Is it clear? Just write in the live chat. Okay, is it clear or not? If it is clear, write clear. Okay, yeah. Do we run both the loops from 0 to no. We don't run both the loops from 0 to n. One loop we run from 0 to n, and the other loop, since I just told you that it is not going to affect this part, right? So we don't have to run from that part. So we can run it from the next part. So from I plus 1 to n. Okay. Find the minimum ln r difference. Minimum ln r difference. Yeah, minimum ln r difference. I think if you're getting it right, so yeah, it's it. So how can you find the number of inversions that it's going to facilitate? Okay. So let's say if there was a, let's say inversion is basically zero initially. Okay. That is the number of inversions that I have decreased. When I'm talking about INV, that is the number of inversion I have decreased. So what we can do is, we can, let's say if we are having an array and we are presently at this position, okay, we can go on checking from here to here. Okay. And if we find that there is an element which is greater than this number, okay, greater than this number, which means that it is not inverted, right? It is in the perfect position. But if it is lesser than that number, then it is inverted. So if it is greater than that number, it means that we are just increasing the number of inversions. So we can make it inversion plus plus. And if it is lesser than that number, so we can make it inversion minus minus. Okay. Initially, we don't need to know how many inversions are there, because we are not technically counting the number of inversions, but we are going to minimize the inversion. Okay. So we can just say that there are zero inversions initially. So if we find that, yeah, there is something greater than that, make it minus minus. If it is something lesser than that, make it plus plus. Because the moment you put it over here, the things that were, sorry, yeah, put it over here, the things that were not inverted now becomes inverted, and that were inverted now becomes not inverted. So it is always a better approach to do it whenever you find that the number of not inverted now is greater than the number of inverted. Okay, then only it's a better approach, right? Is it clear? If you want, I can show you with some example. First, I'll just go with the code, okay? So that it becomes a little bit clearer for you to understand what I'm talking. Why the second loop doesn't start from the 0 to n. I'll explain it. I am there to explain it to you. Okay, so let's see. You're having the array, okay? Taking the input, inversion is 0. Taking the inversion initially to be 0. I don't know what is the number of inversions, but I can take it as 0. Let's say this is the number of inversions. And answer is 0. That is the number of inversions that I have right now. I have to minimize this inversion, okay? L is equal to 1, R is equal to 1 initially. Because yeah, if I'm taking the L and R as same element, it means that we are not changing anything only, okay? Then what we are going to do is, we are going to start from the next position, okay? And find out all the pairs of L and R. Okay, why do I don't do it from 0, this loop? Because I don't need to start from the previous elements, right? I don't have to check the previous elements, because whenever I am making a circular shift, that means I'm taking out one element and putting it at a back position, at a position that is towards the right, towards my right. Okay, my right is your left, I guess. Okay, towards the right. So since I have to put it as right as possible, so I can ignore the positions that were towards the left of it, because they are going to have a neutralizing effect. They were previously also before it, now also after putting it there, they are also before it. Okay, so that is going to have no effect on that. Clear? That is the reason. Now if AR of j is lesser than that, inversion minus minus. If greater than that, inversion plus plus. Now when do we update the answer? Like this is basically the minimum thing. Whenever I find that the number of inversion, the number of inversions now is lesser than the number of inversions that were before it. So yeah, that is a valid thing. L is equal to I plus 1, J R is equal to J plus 1. Why do I make plus 1? That is because I and J is 0 based indexing, but in the solution we need it in 1 based indexing. Okay, and answer is equal to inversion. Okay, is it clear? Yes or no? If it is a clear, tell yes, otherwise no. I'll do one thing, I'll just start a poll. Okay, okay, but for inversion the inversion should be plus plus because A of j greater than A of I. Yeah, A of j greater than A of I, that is the reason, that is where I have made it plus plus. If you mean the opposite thing, if you I don't know what you mean by that anyways, but if you mean the opposite thing that it should be plus plus over here, right? But that is not the thing. Okay, why I'll tell you. Okay, for decreasing this GitHub Copilot is doing a lot of stuff over here. Okay, so that is not the thing because see, you are right. For now, yeah, I get it. For now, this is the condition, but I am not talking about now what it is. I'm talking about in future what it will be, because in future now the element is somewhere over here. Okay, the element is somewhere over here. Okay, so what, like if I'm putting that element and putting it towards the right, okay, putting it towards the right, so what happens is basically it is going to have the opposite effect. All the elements that were inverted now becomes non-inverted, and all the elements that were non-inverted now becomes inverted. What do I mean by that? I'll explain you quickly using the diagram and you will understand it. Okay, you're having 2, 3, 5, 1. Okay, see, if I'm putting this 2 at the end, okay, what will happen? So initially I'm having this 2, 3, 5, 1, and after this shift I'm having 3, 5, 1, 2. Okay, but now we are going to calculate for this and determine from here what is the output for this. Okay, so if you're calculating for that, see, 2 and 3 is not an inversion, but in this 2 and 3 is the inversion, right? Because it is 3 2, not 2 3 anymore, it is 3 2. Okay, do you get it why it is the opposite? Now is it clear, Akshat? 50% people say yes. Why do you guys feel no? Tell me. Okay, like just just voting a yes or no, it won't work. Okay, I want you to go up with some reason. And where did you didn't understand that? At which part? Because didn't get it. Okay. See, for these two arrays, okay, since we were considering for 2 and 3, okay, 2 and 3, right? So is 2 and 3 an inversion? No, right? It is not an inversion, right? That is what your general approach is telling you. But we are not considering for the present position. Okay, okay, I'll just simplify it more. Okay, let's say we are having two elements, 2 and 3. Make it right. Yeah, I get it. I'll make it right. You don't have to worry. So if I'm having 2 and 3 and I'm checking for this 2 and 3, it's not an inversion, right? Good. But since what I'm doing is I am performing a circular shift, which makes it 3 2. So now it is an inversion, right? So it is the opposite thing. So if it was not an inversion, now it becomes an inversion. If it was an inversion, now it becomes a not inversion. Okay, that's it. If you want a dry run, I was in. Oh no, sorry, I was in D. Okay. Which one should I go for the dry run, by the way? Do you want me to dry run this? 1, 4. This is too big though. Can we have something smaller? 3. Okay. 3? Third one. This is the largest. Okay, not the largest. We can go for it. 3 tells the answer is 1, 8. So I don't think that will be a good example to explain, okay? I'll explain the fourth one because this is a good one. 4, 6, okay. It is 1, 1, 1, 5, 1, 1, 5, 6, 7. I'll just copy it out. 1, 1, 1, 5, 1, 1, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, right? Now see, if I'm starting from this 1, okay, just notice what are the inversions. Okay, what are the value of inversion? It is initially 0. Then we get an element which is equal to it, which means that we keep it towards the left or towards the right, it's not going to perform an inversion. We can ignore it. So we ignore this, we ignore this. The moment we go to 5, okay, the moment we go to 5, we find that that is greater than this. Okay, now see what we did in the code. If this is greater, so inversion plus plus. Okay, so what is the inversion now? It is 1. Okay, and what is the answer? The answer is 0, which is minimum. Answer is 0. So we are not going to take it. We are not going to put it over there. Okay, then we again encounter 1, 1. No problem. Again we get a 5. It becomes 2. We get a 6. It becomes 3. So it basically goes on increasing instead of decreasing the, no offense, your Codeforces ka rating. See, I have a lot of accounts. Okay, one of the account got an, I have a expert. Okay, I'm expert. One of the account I have a specialist. I'm a specialist, and one of the account I am a pupil. I guess I don't remember the pupil one. I don't remember whether I am pupil or a specialist over there. But yeah, one is expert, one is specialist. I do remember this. Okay. Now see, for one, what happens, no matter how much I do, it is going to increase the inversion. So not my good thing. Okay, so that's not a good thing. Which also tells us that no matter whichever one we take, it is going to give us the same answer only. Right? So we go to this 5. Inversion is 0. We encounter this 1. 1 is lesser than 5. Inversion becomes minus 1. Again 1 is lesser than 5. Inversion becomes minus 2. Then we go to 5. Okay with it. We go to 6, 7, 8. So this makes it the inversion 1, sorry, minus 1, 0, 1, right? Now, what was the minimum that we reached? The minimum that we reached was nothing but minus 2, right? And can you tell me at which position did we reach this minus 2? We reached this minus 2 when we were at this 1, this position, okay? So it is a best approach to pick up this 5 and put it over here, right? Is it clear now? We have, because we have to minimize the number of inversions. So what did we do? We picked up the 5 from the 1, 2, 3, 4th position and put it in the 5th, 6th position. 6th or 7th, I can't count it. Okay, it's too much bright. So yeah, it was 6th or 7th, I don't remember. 4th and 6th. Okay, 6th position. Okay, clear? Works. Right, and also I did. Okay, should we move on to E? Yes. Okay, okay, okay. Let's move on to E. Can we do the number of small elements after it? Number of small elements. Eh? नंबर ऑफ स्मॉल एलिमेंट्स कौन सा वाला भाई? ये कौन सा वाला है? D. Oh. Oh, okay. Can we do the number of small elements after it? Okay, 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 okay. Can we do find the number of small elements after it? See, you have to find the number of small elements after it and also the large elements after it. Okay. Because like the thing that I just explained you, it may feel that the small elements will do, but it may also be like this. Okay. That is inversion. It was 0, right? So it goes on decreasing. Let's say after that it increases. Okay. It becomes 0 and then again 1, then again 2. And then again it becomes decreases. Okay. 0, minus 1, minus 2. So in that case, if you're just considering the number of small elements, so this is one small element, then this is one another small element because it is decreasing. How many times did we decrease? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 times we decreased, right? But the answer is not minus 5. The answer is minus 2 because there were elements that were also increasing. So that is not a good approach. Okay. I hope that is it, man. Just trust me. Okay. Okay, okay, okay. Do you love your hero? Hehe. Nope. And his two hit, bro, they're doing some double meaning stuff. Two hit multi target attacks. But one question, my friend is a specialist and he finds this contest a little difficult, but rather than there are so many accepteds. Mm, finds this a little bit difficult. I feel this was like for me. I don't know. I'm not going to make some random stuff out over here. But for me, this was a little bit easier than the other contest. As like from Division 2, obviously it is easier, much easier. But yeah, it's okay. Like it may happen. Like even I have days when I can't solve even two problems. Okay, so it's completely natural. It's okay. Some days are bad, some days are good. You have to adjust with it. Okay. Do you love your hero? Nope, I don't. What you're doing is you're given a value of n. Okay. Sorry, not the value of n. You're given a value of k, which is the number of pairs of I of j. Okay, that is the number of pairs for which phi, I don't know what it is called. Okay, but whatever it is, the distance between 2 points. Okay, and their Manhattan distance. I think this is the Manhattan distance. Okay, are equal. That is xa minus xp whole square plus ya minus yb whole square is equal to absolute value of xa minus xp plus ya minus yb. Okay, so you have to find you have to find k pairs, exactly k pairs. So I mean you have to find n points. Okay, such that there are exactly k pairs of those points for which this condition satisfied, that this and this are equal. Okay, do you know what this condition like basically means? Like why, what is some so special about this condition? The Manhattan distance is basically nothing, but let's say if there are 2 points, the Manhattan distance is a 90-degree distance. Okay, 90-degree distance, and the this point, the actual distance is the diagonal distance. Okay, so when can we say, okay, again there is a lag. So yeah, this is the diagonal distance. There's a lag from my end. So yeah, yeah, now it got there. So we have to make both of them same, equal. Okay. Now what do I mean by the 90-degree? It means that this is the x-axis and y-axis. Okay. Okay. Again, it is not getting printed. X palette draw. Okay. Till then, let's say this is the y-axis and this is the x-axis. Okay. So this and this are parallel. Okay. Okay. Now since these are parallel. So what we have to do basically is we have to make both this 90-degree distance and this distance same. So what we can do is we can place it like this, so that this parallel line is the distance only, because then the diagonal and this distance becomes same, right? That is the condition. Clear? Or what we can do is we can have 2 points like this, so that then also the distance is same, the point to point distance and the straight line, the 90-degree distance. Okay, then also the both of them are same. So basically, either you make the x-axis, the x coordinate constant, or you make the y coordinate constant, then only we can say that it's a valid pair. Is it clear? If it is clear, we will move on to how to solve it. Okay. Yes. Okay. Now let's say if you're having a few number of points. Yes. Okay. Now let's say if you're having a few number of points. So there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points. Okay. Now if you want to find out how many pairs can you make out of this, can you find it out? It is basically 5 points. You can take any two numbers. That is 5C2, right? Yeah, that is 5C2. So basically, what it happens is you're given. Okay, so first of all, what are you given? Why is it now getting loaded? Okay, what are you given? You're given the value of k, that is the number of pairs that you're going to have, and you have to print n, that is the number of points that you will be needing, which has to be lesser than equal to 500, and also uh, pairs of integers, that is the points. Okay, now if this is 5C2 and you know that you have to make this whole value as k, so it is always not possible that k is equal to nc2, right? Or something c2, right? It is not possible. It may happen that k is equal to something like this. Okay, k is equal to ac2 plus bc2 plus cc2 plus dot dot dot. Okay, plus let's say zc2, somewhat like that. You never know, right? So you don't know how many elements that you have to do c. Why is it so? Because like you have to make it in that pattern only, because since you have to make the number of pairs as k, what you can do is you go on doing it. Okay, you go on making points like this, so that it is on the same level, that is on the same x coordinate. Okay, you go on doing it, and once you find that if I make one more point, okay, if I make one more point over here, then there is a danger. It is going to exceed the limit of k. It is going to exceed the k. That is, they are going to more than k pairs. So you can't do that. Okay. You just put a cut over there. And now what you are going to do is, now instead of putting this red over here, you can start from here, a point above it. So you also make y plus plus. So now you again go with this. Okay, you go with it. Again, you find that adding one extra will hamper the whole thing. You again go with it. So what do I mean by that? Now let's draw the coordinates. Okay, these are the coordinates. So initially we are going to make the points like this. Okay, then we have a red point. But the moment we have a red point, now the number of pairs, it is greater than k. Okay, so we can't have that red point. So we remove the red point. Instead of putting it over there, we go 1 point above it. Now we go having it like this. Okay, again we have a red point, that is putting it over there, it increases the number of pairs. So again we remove it, and we go on doing it until and unless we find that the sum of all of it is equal to k. Is it clear? Ayana. Ayana. बताओ जल्दी जल्दी जल्दी. Okay, let me end the poll. Yes. Well, that's it. If you want the code, I will show you the code. 8 votes. I'll put up the this things a little bit longer. Okay. So let's go through the code. While k is greater than 0, that is while I find that yeah I can add more points, I go on adding the points. Okay, I'm go on adding the points. What I basically do is initially x is equal to 0, y is equal to 0. So I start from the origin. Okay, and I go on adding the points. If I find that the number of points, which is the number of pairs, this is the number of pairs, that is nc2, n into n minus 1 by 2. You know the value of nc2 is this. If this exceeds the number of pairs that I need, so sorry, I can't add this point. I have to remove that point. Okay, and from the number of pairs I also have to remove the number of pairs that I have already got earlier. Okay, and then instead of making x plus plus, we make y plus plus. That instead of having this x plus plus, we are going to go one step above it. We were just going vertically, right? Now we go one step horizontally, and then again go vertically, then horizontally, then again vertically. So it is basically like a staircase. Okay, so we go on doing it until unless we find that we are okay with the values, and then what we can do is we can print out the whole thing. If you want to see what my output looks like, this is the expected output. Obviously I am not interested about that. Okay, anyways, like if you guys have any doubt till it gets compiled, you guys can write it in the live chat. Okay, see, it looks like 0 0 1 0, and then if I having 3, okay, so that is 3c2, right? 3c2 is nothing but uh, 3 into 2 by 2, that is 3. And how many pairs did I need over here? That is 2. So it is exceeding. So I can't go for it. I'm going to go with 2c2. That is 1. Okay. I go for 1. So I make this plus plus. This x is plus plus. This x becomes plus plus every time. Okay. But y becomes plus plus only if I find that I can't put it anymore. Okay. Clear? Otherwise x is plus plus. See, x is plus 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And y plus plus only if I can't put it anymore. Okay. Clear? If there is no response, I will just assume that it is clear. Okay. Anyways, people new to this channel, you guys can subscribe. You guys can subscribe, okay? Just because like the live chat is open for only subscribers. So yeah, if you guys can't write it on the live chat, you guys can subscribe and then write it out. Okay. Goodbye, banker life. I haven't done it. Someone told me it is going to be done by the Lucas theorem. I don't know. Okay. It is like like as yeah, someone was telling that I have a friend who's a specialist. He thought that yeah, Akshat. It's like sometimes even I can't do things that you guys can do. Okay, so yeah, it's completely normal. Only solve A, B, and D. You didn't solve C. What was C by the way? Okay, or thing. Okay, E I just explained. Okay, Arpit, I will be explaining the F, but not completely because I haven't done it. But I will just explain the approach there. Okay, what F tells us basically is you're having an element as K. Okay, at the beginning of a triangle. Okay, after that, what you're going to have is nothing but K and K. That is, the extreme elements are K K. Okay. Oh, here's again a lag. I think I'll explain it with a notepad. Okay. Okay, I have already explained it. See, initially it is a K. Bro, my previous rating is You guys can tell me if you guys can't see this. Now I think it is clear. Okay, it is K initially. No, I can't tell you about the expected, but what you can do is there's an extension. I don't remember the extension. Okay, no, this is the CPH extension. Sorry, not this one. There's some extension I don't remember. You can go for Codeforces rating extension, somewhat like that. Okay, you'll get. So they give you the expected thing, and you have to put that extension while you're submitting your solutions. Okay, so like basically in the standings, I think this is the account only where I am having a pupil. Yeah, see, since I was having a pupil, this star is because I don't remember. So see over here you can see that I'm having a rating of 1551, okay, which is the expected that I will be having after this contest. Okay, and this is delta. So this things you won't be find in your standings. Okay, but I do find it. But since it is an educational round, so there are chances that it will get better. Okay, because like a lot of questions get hacked. So yeah, that's it. So yeah, let's go for it. So basically it means that first of all it is K and the extreme elements are K. Okay, so and the elements that are in the middle is basically the XOR of the elements on top of it and the previous element. Okay, so on top of it is K and the previous element is K, and K's or K is nothing but 0, and the extreme elements are K. Again K, top of it is 0, over here it is K, XOR is K. Top of it K, over here it is 0, it is K. Then again it is K. Okay, now it becomes K, 0, because K's or K is 0. Okay, 0 0 0, and then a K. Then it becomes K, K, because K dot 0 is K, and 0 dot 0 is 0, 0 dot 0 is 0, K dot 0 is K, and the end is a K, right? So this is how the pattern follows. Okay, but do you notice one thing, like what we are going to basically do with the XOR? It is nothing but, let's say, instead of this K, okay, I don't know whether Notepad allows this or not. Okay, no, I can't replace, no. I think I can't replace. So instead of this K, what you can do is you can write it as 1. Okay, okay. Now I'll tell you what happens is basically, so this 1 is 1, but this 1 is nothing but 1 XOR 1 0, and this is nothing but 1 1 XOR 1 1 0. This is nothing but 1 0 1 XOR 1 0 1 0, right? So basically that is the XOR of the previous element and the previous element into 2. There is a 0 after it. Why is it so? Because we know that that element is basically nothing but the previous element and the element just on top of it and the element just on left of it. Okay, which means, let's say if I'm having 1 0 1 0, 1 0 1 0 1 0 1 0, so what does this make? Okay, so let's say the last one is 1 only. Okay. So what does it make? It makes nothing but the simple fact, because that is what the XOR is doing, right? Because the XOR is going to make it 0 and 1, then 1 and then 1, 1 and 0, then 0 and 1, right? So if I put it down one after the other, so now this becomes 1 and 0. So these are basically nothing but, this is the element to the top of it and this is the element towards the top left of it, right? That we were doing. The element towards the element towards the top of it and the top left. Okay. So we have placed those elements one by one. apart from the fact that the first element remains as it is and the last element remains as it is. And now since we know that the first and the last element is k, so it is going to be 1 only, right? So we can write this as 0, and over here we can add a 0, which basically tells us that we are going to do nothing but XOR that element with XOR of that element into 2. Okay, is it clear? Is there anyone watching it though? Okay, quite less people watching it. So yeah, I hope this is clear. So what this basically happens to be is like there is a kind of triangle. Okay, and that triangle is similar to the Pascal's triangle, but I think it is called as, what triangle is it called? Yeah, this triangle. Okay, Sierpinski's triangle. That is the format that it forms. Okay, somewhat like this. See, it is 1 1 0 1 1 0 0 0 1, right? 1 0 1 0 1 0 1, and if you look at this pattern, it is also same. Okay. So it is somewhat the Sierpinski, whatever it is. I don't know the name. So that is the format that it forms, and you can have the Lucas theorem out there. The Lucas theorem is basically based on that. Lucas theorem is basically based on NCR, and that is basically based on the Pascal's triangle, and Pascal's triangle's modified version is the Sierpinski triangle. Okay, so yeah, if you want to know what is the Pascal's triangle, the Pascal's triangle is nothing but there is an element over here. Okay, and there's an element over here, and over here. So it goes on like that. Okay, it is similar to the thing that we have done. So that is the pattern. Okay, that is the XOR pattern, and that is the number of questions that I have done. I have not done any more questions. Okay, so I think it's time that we rate down the problems quickly. This is medium, hard, easy. Okay, well, if you talk about the first A and B, A was very easy. Okay, A was very easy. I'll use a text. Okay, what is the text? 8. I don't know why I can't do it. Anything. There's some great भाई, किस बात का greatness brother? Grade भी नहीं कर पा रहा problems. A, अरे यार, Okay, A was easy. I mean, A was very easy. Yeah, अब आया. B was easy. Okay, B comes over here. C was, C क्या था? और वाला. I will go for C to be over here. Or was medium. Like proper, it was a proper contest. Okay. E was between hard and medium. F was hard, and G was quite hard. This is a proper contest. Like the level of question, it goes at a very proper order. So yeah, that's it. Let's pack up. Okay, खत्म करते हैं वीडियो. चलो, गुड नाइट. कल आ जाना. कल कोड शेफ वाला है ना. Okay, so guys, join tomorrow. I think I will be live streaming for Code Chef. And if I am too tired, because I have got some work tomorrow, so if I'm too tired, I won't be coming live. By the way, as a beginner, understand editorial for harder problems is difficult for me. I need to explore how to practice. Uh, Watch video tutorials. Okay, because yeah, understanding editorial is difficult. Watch video tutorials. If you still can't understand it, you don't have to understand it. Okay, because I think if you start understanding the smaller problems, the initial problems better. So basically, there it is a process. Okay, you'll get to understand the harder problems. Like you don't have to overstress yourself to understand problems. Okay, okay. So that's it. Thank you. Good night, guys. Radhe Radhe.